Good morning, everyone. Let's start today with a simple question. Have you ever worked so hard, poured your soul into something, only to be overlooked, ignored, or even rejected? You thought people would notice your struggle, your dedication, your sleepless nights. But they didn't. All they saw was the outcome. And if the outcome wasn't good enough, your effort didn't matter. It's painful. It's frustrating. But it's the truth. And that brings us to the harsh but very real title of today's talk. The world respects results, not effort. Let's not sugarcoat this. Life doesn't hand out trophies for trying. You don't get a standing ovation for showing up. You get one for delivering. Whether it's in business, sports, relationships, or personal goals. The harsh reality is, results are what people see, remember, and reward. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people. Both want to lose weight. Person A wakes up at 5 a.m., goes to the gym, eats healthy, drinks water, avoids sugar, but after 6 months, nothing changes. Person B tries less consistently, but manages to drop 10 kilograms through a different, more effective method. Who gets the attention? Who gets the compliments? It's person B. No one will ask, "How hard did you try?" They'll say, "Wow, you look amazing." Because results are visible. Effort isn't. Even in the workplace, your boss doesn't care how many hours you sat at your desk. They care if the project was completed, if the client was satisfied, if the numbers went up. That's the reality. And it hurts, especially for those of us who give everything and still fall short. But today, we're not here just to be discouraged. We're here to understand this truth and then learn how to win in a world that respects results.
Now, why is the world like this? It comes down to this. Results are tangible. Effort is invisible. People can't feel your pain. They can't see your internal struggles, but they can see your performance, your outcomes, your impact. Think of athletes. If a footballer trains every day for 10 hours but never scores in a game, do fans care? Number. They'll cheer the player who scores, even if he trained half as much. Or consider music. You can spend 2 years writing a song, but if someone else writes a hit in 2 days, guess who gets the spotlight? We live in a result-driven world. In exams, no one asks how hard you studied, only what your grade is. In business, no one asks how passionate you are, only if your product sells. In relationships, no one asks how much you sacrificed. They ask how happy your partner is. It's not always fair, but it's how things work. Now, should we stop trying? Should we just chase shortcuts? Should we care only about outcomes and never about the process? Absolutely not. But we do need to shift our strategy from romanticizing effort to maximizing effectiveness. Let's address something we've all heard. Just try your best. Sounds sweet, encouraging. But let me tell you, trying your best is not the same as doing what works. Trying your best without a clear goal, feedback, or strategy is like running on a treadmill. Lots of movement, no progress. I know people who've been trying their best for years to build a business, lose weight, save money, write a book, but they're in the exact same place because they confuse effort with direction. Effort alone doesn't guarantee success. Intelligent effort does. Think of it this way. A fly trapped in a room may try its best to escape through a closed window, banging into it over and over, but a bird will fly around the room, spot to the open door, and leave in seconds. It's not about how hard you work, it's about how smartly and strategically you work. Now, I'm not saying that results are the only thing that matter, but let's be honest, they're the entry ticket to being taken seriously. Your talent, passion, and integrity, those matter too, but they're rarely recognized until you produce something that proves your value. Let me give you a real-world example. Think about Elon Musk. People call him a genius, a visionary. But imagine if SpaceX rockets failed every time. Would anyone care how hard he worked? Number. His respect comes from results, from delivering, from executing, from turning wild dreams into functioning rockets and cars. Or think of Oprah Winfrey. She came from poverty, abuse, and rejection. She worked incredibly hard, but until she produced something powerful, she was invisible to the world. That's the pattern. You don't get applause for having potential. You get applause for turning that potential into proof. Now let's talk about something dangerous. There's a kind of false comfort in effort. Sometimes we keep telling ourselves, at least I'm trying. At least I'm working hard. At least I haven't given up. Yes, that's important. But let's be careful. Sometimes trying becomes an excuse to avoid changing tactics. We stay stuck because we feel noble in our suffering. We confuse struggle with progress. Let me be blunt. If what you're doing isn't producing results, change it. Don't hide behind effort. Effort is the seed, but results are the fruit. If a farmer works the land, waters the crops, pulls weeds, but the soil is wrong and the plants die, do you praise his hard work or tell him to change his method? Hard truth, the world tells him to change his method. And that's what we need to do too. So, now the big question. How do you shift from effort to results? Here are 5 principles. Set clear goals. Vague goals equals vague results. Know exactly what you want to achieve. Measure everything. Don't rely on feelings. Track progress. Be brutally honest with your outcomes. Get feedback. You can't improve what you don't see. Ask mentors, coaches, customers what's working and what's not. Focus on impact, not busyness. Working all day doesn't matter if the results don't come. Focus on high-leverage actions. Adapt relentlessly. If your strategy isn't producing results, change it. Learn fast. Execute faster. Don't fall in love with your effort. Fall in love with results. To wrap this up, the world may not be fair. It may not always value your heart, your pain, or your honest grind, but it will respect you once you deliver. So don't stop working hard, but work smart. Don't beg for recognition. Earn it. Don't chase applause. Chase impact. Because in the end, results speak louder than excuses, effort, or intention. And once you start delivering real results, the world listens. The world respects. The world rewards. Thank you.
This includes, most men were never taught how to put words to what they feel. So instead of saying, I'm overwhelmed, they say, I'm fine. Instead of saying, I'm scared, they say nothing. We need to teach emotional vocabulary, not just to children, but to adults, to fathers, to friends, to leaders. Because without the language, there can be no dialogue. Men need places where they can speak without being silenced, judged, or emasculated. These safe spaces might be support groups, therapy rooms, trusted friendships, or even anonymous forums. And remember, safe space isn't just physical, it's emotional. If a man opens up to you, don't belittle him. Don't rush to fix him. Just listen. We need more public figures, athletes, actors, creators, and leaders who normalize emotional honesty. When someone like Dwayne Johnson, Prince Harry, or Terry Crews talks openly about mental health, it gives permission to millions of men silently struggling. Visibility matters. Vulnerability matters even more. Partners, friends, siblings, your words matter. Telling a man you don't have to carry everything alone can be life-changing. Men are often waiting for someone to make the first move to say, I see you. You're safe here. To the men listening, you are not alone. If you are a man who feels tired, If you are holding back tears no one has seen, if you're carrying burdens that feel too heavy, please know this. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to pretend you're okay when you're not. You are allowed to fall apart. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to heal. Strength isn't just getting through it. Strength is reaching out. Strength is breaking the silence, so others can too. To the women, families, and friends, this isn't just a men's issue. It's a human issue, a cultural issue, a generational issue. Men need your empathy, not your assumptions. They need your support, not your solutions. They need your presence, not your pressure. If you love a man, father, brother, son, friend, partner, remind him that he doesn't have to be your rock all the time. Sometimes he needs to be held too. The new definition of strength. It's time to rewrite the definition of strength. Strength is speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. Strength is saying, I need help, and not feeling ashamed. Strength is allowing yourself to be loved, not just for what you do, but for who you are. Real strength is emotional honesty. Ending the silence. The silence has lasted long enough. It's time to break it. Let's raise boys who don't have to unlearn their emotions. Let's build a world where men are free to cry, to grieve, to feel. Let's tell every man struggling in silence, you are not weak, you are not alone, and you are worthy of love just as you are. Together, let's create a future where no one has to suffer in silence just to prove they're strong. Thank you.